Welcome back, guys. This one looks like a mess, but to me it's actually controlled chaos. To use it might be controlled chaos as well, but you know, to some people it's a mess. But anyways, this one's the Wltoys A959. That's the aluminium chassis just there. So I'm going from the plastic one because it's too bendy. You know, you can flex it all over. Once you go brushless on these, the torque twist and it'll come away from your mesh, your spur and your pinion will separate a little bit, and it generally strips your gears. So I thought I'd go aluminium, but there's a problem. So stick around with this one. I'll put you on the stand and I'll show you what the issues are and how I'm going to resolve this one. Right, let's see if we can get this one done today. Absolutely freezing outside and this metal's cold in my hand. But anyways, let's see if I can get this in focus. Here we are. Right, so this is the aluminium chassis, and even with my gammy thumb here, I'm going to have to do this to obviously prove to you what the issue is, but just a slight little bit pressure. Oh my days. If you can see that, it's a clear bend. I mean, that's ridiculous. I'll get the ruler on it. There you go, guys. I mean, it's just going to flex on you straight away, so I didn't want to bend it too much, but you can see there. So my solution is a bit of carbon fibre there. I've braced it all the way through. I've just notched this little piece out here. I'll get the light a little bit better on that. So I've just notched this little piece out here for the second screw that comes under. That's an M3. I'm using M3s, but you can use M2.5s if you want. There, 22mm wide. I can't remember how long it is. Something like 68mm. So 58mm, sorry, was it 58 or 68? Yeah. So it's 58mm long by 22mm wide. I had to think out where I was going to actually put the holes on here because of the back. So I started with the back first because it would have been more important. The front, however, you're going to have loads of space down here to put the hole in, and you've only got the one area here really to put the hole. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So this is 2mm carbon fibre. I've just marked 22mm top and bottom and put a line on. So when I cut this, I'll be making sure I leave the line on, so then I know that that's guaranteed 22mm wide. I'll be using a Dremel on this. I wouldn't try and use a hand saw or anything on this. If you're trying to do it, this camera wouldn't work. So yeah, like I say, I wouldn't use a hand saw. Go for a Dremel. I'll take you through the process. I'll just get that cut and I'll be ready. There you have it, 22mm wide, or get it as close to as you can. You don't want to come and past these little like lugs that stick out here. You want it to stay within this part here. So what I'm going to do is, just on my bench, on my next one, I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper, put it on top of my rule, and just to flatten that edge off, just run it back and forwards like that. So I'll do that and I'll get back. That's sanded, so as you can see here, I just offer it up to the chassis, and it's nicely if you can just make that out. There we are. It sits nicely on there anyways. What I'm going to do is I'll cut that to length to keep it the same length as the other piece that I added on the back. But as you can see here, if that'll go into focus, I'll try and get some focus. So that sits nicely there, and now when I try to bend it, it's not wanting to go so easy. In fact, it's wanting to try and torque down here. But the chassis itself's amazing. It's a really, really good chassis compared to the plastic one. Just that will let us down. So I've straightened this out anyways. And also your gear here, it covers that up to stop any dust getting up in there. It works for me. It might not work for you guys, but I'm just putting it out there. Right guys, when you're working with carbon fibre, always wear a mask when you're cutting it. I mean, when I was outside with a Dremel there, I could get away with not wearing a mask. And because I'm hand sanding it in here, I can control my dust levels. So I'm just taking some methylated spirits here, I'm giving it a wipe down, get the dust off for the next bit, because the next bit I'm going to use some double-sided sticky tape. I'll stick it completely over here, offer it up to the chassis, make sure it's nice and flush at the back, and making sure it's even in between these points here and here, and I'll push that down, and once that's in place I'll flick the chassis over and then I'll show you the next part. So deciding to do this with your chassis, obviously I'm doing it with mine because it's a weak point. Don't have any of the hardware on, because obviously you need to be able to get through to this. I've already done this, that's why you're seeing some of the hardware on, but it still hasn't been Loctited in. I'm only doing this obviously to show you guys. But anyways, and if you didn't have any of these other parts of the hardware on, I'd have just striped your line straight down it, straight away like that. And then you're going to find the centre of this and try and just mark it centre. Clamp it down to your desk and drill from the chassis side into your carbon fibre. So I'll clear some space off here and I'll try and show you guys. So I've just marked that up. I don't know if you can just make them marks out there. So there's a little cross there. I've just eyeballed these from this way, but obviously I've got the centre line sorted out. From the back here, I wouldn't want the hole actually too close to the front, because it's just where the weak point is. So you do want it as far back as you can from where you've added your plate. And you can guess where it is from these holes here. If you've left it longer, then you obviously want to do it a little bit further up from these holes, which I have there. So I'm just going to freehand this. Obviously I'm not going to clamp mine down. I'm going to start with a 1mm bit. I've got the 1mm bit in there. Then I'll go to a 2mm bit, chase the hole out. I'll finish with a 2.5 because I've done an M3 on the back. I'll just stick with the M3, so I've got another M3 tap here. You can get 2.5mm taps as well if you want to stick with like the screw sizes. But anyways, here I go, guys. As you can see there, both holes have been drilled. I'll go straight back through that. So once you've got your holes, once you've got your holes drilled out, you can now take that off with your double-sided sticky tape. It's probably lifted up a little bit anyways, because what generally happens is, with the aluminium being soft, it'll lift up just slightly on the edges there. So just take a bigger drill bit, usually this one here, that's my countersink one, and I'll just let that run around and it'll take that off, but it won't actually go into there. It doesn't countersink that. Then what you want to do is you want to countersink the back of this to suit whatever you're putting in, M3 or M2.5, that's entirely up to you guys. So I'll do that and I'll get back to you. M3 thread in, I want to turn the chassis upside down for the direction that I want the threads to be going in. Literally I'm just going to offer it up, let it do its thing. So once you've threaded it, just test it. That's good enough for me. Yep. So it just comes above the chassis like that, but this is the front. Like I say, it doesn't matter because it shouldn't affect your drive shaft or anything. Offer it up, make sure you've got everything in line. Test fitting it. So you have it. Looking sharp. What I'll do is I'll go around, I'll chamfer the edges off ever so slightly, and then I'll seal it up with super glue as well, because I do believe that's what you're meant to do with carbon fibre. But yeah, the screws are looking nice and flush in there, no screw heads protruding or anything. The back ones probably are, because I just rushed that one the other day. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll take these off, I'll go around, I'll fit all of my hardware, I'll Loctite this hardware on, and I'll start building the car from there, and I'll leave these to last, which those will be getting Loctited on as well. The next little thing that you'd have to do is these little lugs here. You've actually got to shave these down. If I can just get that in view, if you can just see that angle there, you've got to take some of that away, because your arms will get stuck. I'll show you that as I'm getting on with the build, but that's the first mod done. So I hope you're enjoying this one so far, guys. Stick around and I'll show you what else I'm going to do.